You are now tuned in to the Own Your Ship podcast here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in this week to the podcast, guys. I really, truly appreciate it. Now, if you're anything like how I was back in the day with relationships, especially at the beginning of my marriage, then you're going to want to tune into this episode. If you have not seen the title already, please note, we're going to be talking about ways to own your ship in your marriage. Yes, I said it. Ways to own your ship in your marriage. Now, I'm gonna give you a little backstory. I've had numerous disagreements with my husband, and there have been moments where I was dead wrong. And instead of getting up and saying, yo, I was wrong, I apologize, I'm sorry, I doubled down. Why? Because of my pride, because of ego, because of all that stuff. And guess what? It got me nowhere. In the end, it probably made my relationship worse. It caused space between me and my husband when we didn't even need that to begin with. If I would have just owned my mess. It had my husband looking at me sideways because he was probably like, what is wrong with this woman? I've seen how much headache and heartache it can cause not owning your mess. And today, I want to share some secrets with you on how we can own that mess and have a healthy marriage. Y'all know I'm all about the healthy marriage. So let's dive into the first point. In order for you to own your ship in your marriage, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge and accept that you're not perfect. Society has created these standards of what a perfect relationship or a perfect marriage should look like. And that adds so much unnecessary stress on us. I'm telling y'all, we do not need that. We don't have to listen to what social media says or what the television show says or what the celebrities say. We can't live up to those unrealistic expectations because what they do, they cause us unnecessary anxiety. Anxiety is the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how you're gonna be accepted. You don't know if people will like you. You don't know if you'll be the it couple if you don't live up to the standard that they want you to live up to. It's not worth it. It will be well received if you are more authentic in who you are as a person and in who you guys are as a couple. We've seen countless amount of celebrities who've taken their lives because of the pressures of society, because of the pressure of what is expected of them. When you try to become a different person, or you and your spouse try to become different people to appease the people on the outside looking in, then how can your marriage thrive? After a while, you're going to be looking at each other like strangers. Who are you? I don't know you. This is not the person I married. You're putting on for everybody. That hashtag relationship goals is really not what you think it is. Scrolling down social media, it looks like the happiest couple on a perfect day posed in front of the most luxurious hotel or a restaurant or on a lovely beach somewhere. And that should sum up their entire relationship. One, you guys don't know what happens behind closed doors. For all we know, they could be laughing and smiling, and behind closed doors, they're constantly arguing, constantly bickering. Imperfections does not mean failure. It doesn't mean failure. As long as you have breath, that's another opportunity for you to try again. You can always strive for perfection. In fact, that's what we all are trying to do. Nothing is wrong with that. But you cannot beat yourself up when things don't come out like the cookie cutter way you expect it to. The sooner you acknowledge and accept that you're not perfect is the sooner you'll be on the road to a happier, healthier marriage. Point number 2. We're going to dive in a little bit deeper here. Identify exactly what you need to change. Now, introspection is everything, I'm telling you. Coming from a place where I did not care how I used to offend people, I would just say what I wanted to say, do what I wanted to do, and not give two craps about how it impacted anyone, not just in my marriage, but just in life, period. The moment I learned about introspection and about taking a step back, looking at myself, looking at the things that I've done and how it impacted people, that caused me to do a whole 180 because now I'm able to put myself in people's shoes. Now I'm able to think before I speak, and that helps me become a better person because I'm able to see how my mannerisms and behaviors were impacting people in a negative light. None of us want to walk around here and have the whole world hating us. It's human nature for us to want to feel accepted. So deliberately doing something so people can hate us is not normal. When you're trying to identify the thing in you that you may need to change, you may need to think about these questions. 1, does it cause disagreements? Does it cause you guys to always have arguments? Does it make you uncontrollably angry? Does it make you feel like your marriage is going in a completely different direction and not the direction that you guys want as a unit? Think about it. Are you willing to compromise on it? Are you willing to give it up? Are you willing to change in order to see the positives of your relationship? Identifying what needs to be changed is almost like a breath of fresh air, because once you know what the problem is, you can begin the process of fixing it. Point number 3. Please, I'm begging y'all, give yourself grace. Give yourself some grace. You are not perfect. I said that before. So don't penalize yourself every time you make a mistake. You're human. It happens. You will make mistakes. Habits do not develop overnight. I did some research, and there is an article on Healthline that talks about habits. It says it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days for a person to form a new habit, and an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. So you got up for the last 3 mornings and you didn't cuss your husband out every time you got up, but that 4th morning he scratched your leg with his sharp toenail and you began to cuss the crap out of him. Okay, forgive yourself. Give yourself grace. You messed up. It may take a little more practice and a little more patience, but whatever you do, don't give up. Remember that you have to put the work in though. Don't just feel like you're going to say, I'm going to change and then that's it. Saying what you want to do and not actually doing it is just talk. It's a waste of time because there's no actual change. My godfather, he's my godfather in my head, Charlemagne the God, will always say the best apology is changed behavior. Nothing beats that in my opinion. Point number 4. Be accountable. Once you realize the areas in your relationship where you've been messing up, own it. Own it. I could tell you, it's like a weight off your shoulders. When my husband says to me, oh babe, I messed up. This is what I did. That makes me feel like, okay, at least he's being honest with himself. He's not trying to put it on me. He's taking responsibility. He's owning it. So take ownership, not just for your spouse, but for yourself. What I've seen is that people who don't want to take ownership for their stuff, they're usually gaslighting or deflecting. They'll say stuff like, are you sure that's what happened? Or, you made me do it. Whatever you do, do not go down that path. Learn to apologize. Guys, come on. Own it. If you did it, own it. How can you be better for yourself or for your spouse if you will not take responsibility for the things that you have done? Sit on that. Point number 5. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, this is a part that trips a lot of people up, especially in the Black community. We were raised to just keep our business behind closed doors. Don't share your business with nobody. Keep it all to yourself. Bottle it in, work through it, or go shoot some hoops or whatever. We've been taught all these different mechanisms to cover and hide the emotions that we're feeling. It has to stop here. You guys know that I've always been an advocate for therapy, and I'm always gonna recommend getting help. Go see a therapist. Therapy should be at the top of your list for both your personal and professional development. Because the way I see it, if we could fix all our problems ourselves, then we would live in a perfect world. And we're far from it. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, after you've gone through this entire process, those 5 steps, I need you to do 3 things. I need you to make amends wherever it's necessary. Whoever you need to apologize to, apologize. I want you to really look at what you've done and learn from those mistakes. And finally, don't dwell on it. Let it go, move on. I know all of this sounds like a lot, but you can do it. You guys know I like to keep it short and sweet. So thank you for tuning in this week. Let's talk about this some more in the comments. And until we meet again, take care. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a review for the show. It helps a whole lot. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MelissaTWalker_ and use the hashtag OYS podcast for more great content.